So, good evening, everybody. How are we all? This is going to be issue 45. Looks like we're going to be doing some seats. I am your host, Penny, and this is, if I could just find the button on my mouse, this is Horlicks.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone today?
So, how's you and how's your week been?
Not too bad. Busy at work. Just because of just about getting ready to wind down for Christmas now. So there's
Yeah,
quite a lot going on. A lot of warehouse movements and getting old stock over to another warehouse ready for the new season. And yeah, absolutely exhausting. And I've just
brilliant.
spent the last 20 minutes trying to open a Frey Bentos pie and slice my finger open.
Lovely.
Oh, I hate them. I hate them.
So, talking of Christmas, I've just had a reminder come through on my phone. Don't forget to buy 27 days worth of food because the shops are going to be shut for 12 hours.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, you want 3 trolleys full of milk, bread, because the shops won't be open.
Yeah, because for one day we have to buy half of the supermarket. Right. So I don't know if you heard me, but I was just opening the packet. So this is the very first time I'm looking at the magazine. Big thank you to Adrian Oldland, who has scanned all the magazine in for us so that we don't have to. So today we are going to be doing pretty much exactly the same as we did 2 weeks ago. And having a quick scan on the magazine, it looks like it is identical. Has anyone already built this week's magazine? It looks to me like it's exactly the same. What do you think, Horlicks?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it does look pretty much the same. Yeah, there may be variations, possible. Oh no, actually, I don't think there are. No, yeah, it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, and excuse me, and don't forget to stay tuned till the end because I've got to tell you this sneak preview. Myself and Horlicks, we have a difference of opinion coming up.
Yes.
It could get heated. It could be handbags at dawn.
Not at all, not at all. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions, and I don't force them on anyone. So yeah, no, it would be interesting to find out other opinions.
Yeah. So what I'm doing, you can't see it on the cat. Sorry, I've got sorry, just say something, Horlicks. Anything?
Hello.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Well, Horlicks has been chatting. I'm just undoing all the plastic on the magazine.
Just give me two
Um.
seconds. I just need to strip my top off because I'm hot.
Oh. Dun, dun,
Hang on.
dun, 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 dun.
Right, that's it. Oh, in response to Chris Camplin, I work in a clothing warehouse, um, surgical religion clothing, and yeah, so we've obviously got 4 seasons a year, and yeah, coming up to Christmas, we're moving old stock out, ready for the new collection, and also stock taking as well, which is a mammoth job.
Or with warehouses.
So I'm a bit cross-eyed. I've got been scanning all day. We've got these little handheld scanners, and oh, it's just absolute nightmare.
So, shall we begin the very last issue of Before Christmas?
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
there isn't
that was
one next week,
you were
isn't there?
shocked there, weren't you?
No, sorry, I was just looking at the comments. No, yeah, because it's a bit different because I'm using my iPad. I thought because I've got an iPad Pro and I use it now and again, but I
Mm,
thought it might make it easier for me to like read the chat and because I've already got 2 screens set up, but
yeah,
it's still a bit of a squeeze. So I thought, I know, I'll get my iPad out and I've got the chat. So, but I have to look away to see it. But yeah, because
yeah.
we're not got one next week, have we?
No, no.
So that's it. Yeah, till after Christmas.
And I've not received any subscriber issues. I did speculate that we would still get subscription issues, but apparently someone contacted Hachette and guess what? They've got stock problems.
I was going to say, I was just about to say, I have received the delivery today, but of course I'm behind. And so I got slightly excited because it came in the same packaging as R2D2, because I'm expecting my last 3 issues. And I'm really excited to get this thing up and running. So I was like, oh, I was contemplating whether to email you, Penny, and say, sorry, I can't do tonight. I'm busy building R2D2.
Why do I believe you?
No, I wouldn't have done really. But no, it was actually my Routemaster. And I was, as I said last week, I was a bit concerned that they would reissue the issues that I got like 2 months ago, because they sent me like 24, 25, 26 or whatever it was, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26. And luckily they have done it right. And I've got my 27, 28, 29 and 30. And as we said last week, I remember issue 30 because it's the exhaust pipe. I don't remember 27, 28 or 29.
Do you know what? I will never forget issue 29. I will never, ever in my whole life forget issue 29. It's the only time I've gone off-piste and used super glue. Well, super glue for the build.
Actually, I do remember 29 now. I can see small little black wires in there.
I shudder every time I if someone says I live at number 29, I shudder. Just
okay, well,
29.
As it's Christmas, I'll send you my issue 29 and I'll let you build it for me.
You know what? You're about the 15th person to say that. People seem to think I'm some kind of expert. Penny, can you send me your engine and I'll send you the magazines, or I'll send you mine and you build it for me?
You are an expert.
Well, no, I'm experienced. I've done this issue before.
Yeah.
I don't
you're like
think
me. You're cautious and you like to make sure it's all done properly and make sure seats aren't put in the wrong place and they're not wobbling around and cushions
and the cushions are the right way round. Yeah,
you know, things like that.
And I like to test the sandbox properly.
Don't get me started on that. Anyway, moving on. Shall we start the build?
Yeah, let's start the build. I actually showed that. I showed that video to someone at work, and I don't think they quite got it because they were like, "Oh, that's really good, Penny. That's really loud. It's a really good engine noise, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Yes, okay."
Steve Lee said, "Well done, Horlicks. The top just slid off fine."
Yeah.
Do you know what? Because I wore a vest today. I've got a vest and a t-shirt. Then I had a jumper. Then I had the hoodie. Then I had a big puffer jacket because it's so cold in the warehouse. And we've had a burst gas main down in the estate, so there's been no heating or anything. But anyway.
Okay. Steve Lee just said issue 29, the swear box tester.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just going to while you get your bits and pieces ready, I'm just going to very quickly run through the comments. Most of them were just pre-stream chat. So saying about receiving the issues. Hi, Penny. Hi, Horlicksers. Hi, Steve Lee. Hi, Dave Martin. Hi, Fleetwood J. J. Johnson Hazel. Daniel Simpson. Steve Lee. Roger Kimball. Steve Lee. It's nice to see people helping each other. Dave Martin's got a problem with the screws, and Steve Lee has helped him out. Johnson Hazel, have you seen yet yourself that the 100 REF collection has jumped to 999? I looked at that in the newsagents today, and it does. The Vulcan looks absolutely amazing, but to be honest with you, because I've got it stuck on Horlicks for some reason, because of the problems I had with the first 2 issues, I just went and just stuck it back on the shelf. I'm not going to bother with it with the problems I've had, and it's really not my thing. It's I'm about building rather than opening the packet up and going, oh, lovely. So Johnson, as long as it comes, the nice delicious. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, we like the cake. But you see, to be honest with you, if I bought the 100 years of the REF, the most exciting thing for me would be what cake picture have we got today. which I don't think is the right reason to buy it. Dave Milne says, hi, Chris Campbell made it on time. Hello, Chris. Hi, Dave Say. Hi, Horlicks. Hi, Chris Campbell. Hi, Ron Cheeky Crouch. Hi, Sol. Hi, Steve Graham. Steve Lee, Daniel Simpson, Paul 61, C70. Chris Campbell. Hi, Adrian Langley. Thank you very much for the scans. They're brilliant. I had a very, very quick look. Hello, Rusty Dean. Have I seen your name? I think I saw you last issue, didn't we? Chris Campling, Sol, Steve Lee. Hello, James. Sorry, I might get this wrong. Two Briddy. Dave Say, Chris Campling. I think it's all the same names coming out. So yeah, issue 42 is the swear box. I can't remember issue 42 now. Was that the... Oh, I can't remember. We'll have to look that one up. But yeah, issue 29 was a bit of a swear box issue. Christine UK, hello again. Andy Clift and Peter from Fleet. If I've missed your name out, just make a little comment and we'll bring it up again, and I will apologise. Oh, so how are we doing, Horlicks?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I'm ready here when you are. Apart from obviously my screen share. There we go. Yeah.
So, I suspect these are absolutely identical to last week, but shall we... Let me change my camera angle and we'll have a little look at the parts. We'll look at the quality of the parts. We'll look for any defects. So, this is my parts for this week. And as I did I keep saying last week. Well, when I say last week, I mean last issue. So what I'll do is I will lay them out on the table like I did before, because they weren't laid out like A, B, C, D. So I'll lay them all out properly. Okie dokie.
So 45A is a left seat frame.
Okie dokie. So it's going to be one of these two. So let me get my spodger. That's my new word, is my spodger. I love that word. So this one has got an L on it, so that will be it.
Yep.
But that's the left, and I know that it's the left seat frame because if you look on the, it's got no, oh, what did I call it before? It hasn't got the knobbly bit on the top. So I shall put that there.
Okay.
Okay.
45B is the right seat frame with socket, which is the knobbly bit.
And that's not that bit. Right, that's that piece there because it's got an R on it and it's got a knobbly bit on it. So that's B.
Okay. C is the seat supports times 4.
Okay, and again, they're just as fragile as they were before, but didn't they kind of really firm up once we screwed them in?
Mm.
So they're all plastic as they were before, and I'll put them like that just to save a bit of space. Okie dokie.
Okay, 45D. There should be 2 left seat cushions.
Okay. I think, yeah, that's these 2. So there's one. So again, the same as before. Plastic with this nice little it's got like a sticker over it. Does that look right? That doesn't look the same to me. It is. Okay, it didn't quite look the same. I might as well put that away.
Okay.
Yep.
45E, we've got left seat brackets. Left seat backrest times 2.
Left seat backrest will be not this one. Because,
hello, love. Sorry, hello, love minis. Sorry, just seeing that.
That's all right. This is actually the wrong way round. That's why I know it's not the right one. You can see the difference between the two. So it's this one, and therefore it will be this one. And they're fine. Happy with those.
Okay. And is your locating pins okay this week? Because last issue you had one that was bent, didn't you?
I had a bent one, yeah, and they look fine.
Oh,
but I'll have a look at the rest as they come out.
Cool. Okay, 45F is the right seat cushion. There should be 2 of those.
Okay, and that's that one. Okay, not 100% happy with that sticker on the corner, but that, whoops, that seems to have sorted the problem out. It is, as you probably all know from Christmas paper, present wrapping, it's very hard to get the corners, especially if you're wrapping round things. And those locating pegs are fine. Okay.
Okay, 45G, right seat backrest ×2.
Okay, again, that's absolutely fine. I'm running out of space on this desk. Yeah, very happy with that. Okie dokie.
Okay, 45H is left seat frame with socket.
Okay, and that's that one. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to have to start going down my desk now. Okay, and that should leave one more piece.
Yep, 45I, right seat frame.
And that's without. Yeah, that's without. So they've actually not made any errors on the instructions.
No, yeah, they've corrected that this week, haven't they?
Yeah.
And then you should have 36 JP screws. So I think if I remember last time we had 3 packets of 12, did we?
We do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This packet's come undone, so I'm gonna actually tip those in. In fact, I'm actually gonna take the whole thing out like I normally do, and that will save a little bit of space. And the last packet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'll tip this one into the box. I know we didn't use all of these last time, so I'll leave that packet closed. With the spares and these 2 packets, I've got a feeling we might have enough. But if we don't, I've still got this packet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'll do is I will get my screwdriver bit ready. I've had these all out this last couple of weeks for doing R2. That might be too big.
Oh yeah, Sean Gates just said still needs batteries for R2. Yeah, as Chris Campling just said, go to 18650.uk. I've got those ones, and if they're not in stock, there is a waiting list, but the wait isn't very long. They're fully aware of the actual demand for these, and they're constantly on the case. So yeah, just be patient. And they're really nice guy there. I emailed him a few weeks ago, and as Chris said, if you use code R2D2 at the checkout, you'll get some money off.
Right. So, shall we begin?
Yeah. Okay. So
you'll have to forgive me if you keep hearing me slurp on coffee. I had a bit of a later finish today, so.
Oh yeah, me too. Well, no, didn't have a late finish, but I'm constantly drinking tea.
Well, you got to. You see, you're lucky there, aren't you? You can just drink tea at work, can't you?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we need to take the left seat frame, 45A. So that's the one without the knobbly bit. And one of the left seat backrest, 45E. Fit the backrest onto the frame and fix in place with 2 JP screws.
Lovely. So I've got them out as you were describing that, and all I'm going to do, there's a little locating peg there, and there's a little hole there, and I'm just going to slide that around until I can find the hole, which is roughly there. There we go, straight in. Really nice one, that one actually. That went in really well. So I tried to get a couple of screws out there, and then exactly the same as before, I'm just going to screw one in just until it grabs. There we go. And then the second one Oops. Of course, I can let go of that now because it's already grabbed with one. Whoa, 3 months wait. There we go. And we'll just put that one in. This is quite stiff, so I'm going to go quite slow. Remember, it is plastic, so if you over tighten, it's going to go crack. Okay, I'm really happy with those. Yep, that's fine. And that looks nice. I'm happy with that.
Brilliant. Okay, so next is take one of the left seat cushions, 45D, and fit that onto the frame, fixed in place with 2 JP screws.
Okay. There we go. Exactly the same. The locating peg is showing there. That's fine, Chris. That's exactly what the chat is for. If you want to chat amongst yourselves, or if you know, anytime you want to join in the stream, that's fine. We don't mind either way. Right, so that one's in enough just to grab. Then we pop the second one in, and a little bit further. That one's gone in nice and tight. If you remember last time, some of my screws, they didn't really have a stop point. They just kept going. Right.
And
Those
yeah.
I'm happy with. Plenty of space there to shove your ticket down, and your odd 2Ps and your piece of chewing gum. So that's nice. I'm happy with that.
Brilliant. So now take one of the seat supports, 45C, and fix to the underside of the seat frame, 45A. Again with 2 JP screws.
Okay, I was just about to say I can't remember which way round these go, but there's a little locating peg. It's just slightly off center. So if you put it in the wrong way, like I'm trying to deliberately do, there we go. That's in the wrong way. I don't know if you can see that. Things don't line up. If you turn it round the correct way, between the 2 screw holes and the locating peg, there we go. That goes in perfect. So, and just like before, let's just chuck a load of these on there, shall we? We're going to use them eventually, aren't we? So the first one goes in just enough to grab. Oops. There we go. Just enough. This one is just a slight bit of a struggle, more to do with the shape of the screwdriver. So I'm going to use my other screwdriver from another build. So there's a lesson there that just because you found a screwdriver that you love, don't discard any other screwdrivers, because if they're just perfect for just one screw, that's worth keeping then, isn't it? Right, so there you go. There's another seat with a support.
Brilliant.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Just like that. Spoon, egg.
Yeah. Okay, so stage 2, in the same way as step 1, fit the second left seat backrest, 45E, to the left seat frame, 45H, and fix in place with 2 JP screws. And then it says the fixing points for the grab poles have been circled in red.
Okay.
Just a tip. So
to save a little bit of time, I'm going to go straight in with the back, the seat, and then the support.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's the back. Well, that went straight in. In fact, what I'm going to do, just for fun, I'm going to accidentally put the seat on the back. Oh, that's right. That's careful. That was very, very loose. I actually thought it was broken. Yeah, that is absolutely impossible to put on. Well, yeah, look, the screws aren't lining up, so that is impossible to get wrong. So long as you put the correct one on the right one. Why is it the second time this doesn't want to go in? There we go. Straight in. So screw. Just enough to bite. Second screw. Oops.
Ooh. The chat's
Yeah,
very
I'm
active.
avoiding the chat because we've got spoilers going on.
Yeah, I'm liking it.
Yeah, I know you're liking it. They're trying to wind us both up so that we fight, aren't they? I'm just struggling with this screw a little bit.
No,
Doesn't seem
never.
to want to go in straight. So I've just undone it a little bit. There we go. That's gone. Oh, yeah, this screw is a bit of a struggle. I think the hole isn't quite lined up properly. Maybe it was a little bit of a hot day when they made that seat and the plastic didn't cool down. But that's fine. That's gone in okay. I'm happy with that. Just as long as the seats aren't loose. There we go. And we know we've got it the right way around because of the plain bit on the side. I can't believe how well those are fitted in. Oops.
Are you sure you don't want a mix match effect and have it, yeah, like that?
Could do, couldn't I? What do you think, guys?
Oh God, it would drive most. Well,
Well,
I haven't got OCD, but it's what it's. I just.
you've got to have things the right way.
But although saying that, I might have. It is what it is, isn't it? I may have a very mild case of it.
Well, see, I take a lot of pride in being a little bit odd. There we go. I'm happy with that. But I'm supposed to be showing people the correct way to do things, so I suppose I'd better do it the right way, hadn't I?
Yeah.
Although, I think you can learn just as much from seeing people do things incorrectly.
Well, yeah, definitely. We're all human, and now and again, mistakes happen. I'm
Yeah,
guilty of that.
that's it. I thought if I watch you do it wrong, after I finish laughing, I know how to do it right.
Mm.
No, actually, I mean, all joking aside, I've not really seen you do a bad build. There we go. Right, I am very happy with that seat. Just the corners are a little bit, the stickers just a little bit. I think I might put a bit of varnish or something over it. I will see close to the time. I'm not going to talk about mods before I've finished things.
No, and obviously, don't forget. Well, I'm just assuming now. I'm not sure if we'll actually have access to the inside of the bus. So
No, I think by the time you've put the top deck on and all the windows, I really, if somebody looks at my completed bus and then goes, well, this bit's actually going to be against the wall because you see you've got the handle there.
yeah, yeah,
So if anybody looks in my bus and then genuinely goes, oh, the corner of your seat's a bit dodgy, fine, I'll give them that.
yeah.
Right, so that is stage 1 and 2 done.
Yeah, yes. Sorry, yeah, two.
Oh, that's
So
fun.
now we are going to move on to step 3, which is not letting me expand. There we go. Take the right seat frame 45i and one of the right seat backrests. So we want the right seat without the knobbly bit.
Okay. So pretty much the same as before.
Exactly the same, yep.
Okay.
Hatch both cushions and then we'll be able to do this with our eyes shut soon.
Sorry, I've just seen what Steve Lee has written. Issue 130 is the bus depot, which fits lovely in your garden. Right. Okay. So again, to save a bit of time, I'm going to do all three elements of this. So we have the back, the seat, and the support. And obviously, because it's the right side, we are expecting this to be on the other side. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to put, I love the Aurea, but as I'm using this screwdriver for some bits, to save me keep switching screwdrivers, I'm just going to use the same screwdriver throughout. I can do this with the Aurea, but it's just a little bit easier when you got the supports because it's thin. This is thinner. I do actually have another screwdriver in my possession. I'll show you later on.
Is it a new one?
It's a brand new one.
Oh, you've been
Yes.
naughty shopping.
I've been really naughty, actually. I bought something that perhaps I shouldn't have done. Okay, I'm happy with that seat back. It's not a long-term commitment. It's just a one-off purchase.
Why not, eh?
Why not? Yeah, it was £9.99 that I don't really have. Oh, do you know, I might be talking up a disaster here, but these screws have, for me, have gone in lovely. I'm waiting. I had about 2 or 3 screws last week that they wouldn't grab tightly. There'd be no stop point, and they just kept going and going. They still grabbed, but I'm just waiting for another one to happen. And like I say, I might be talking up fate here, but so far I've not had that. What's that? I hope she fails badly. Oh yeah.
Theresa
Do
May.
you know? I know we probably shouldn't be doing politics on this, but I don't understand why. You know, we all voted. Well, I voted to remain. I will say that. I don't mind admitting that. However, the Leavers won. This is a democratic society, so I think we have to go with that. But having known, oh, oh, I'm not going to, that is actually one that won't stop. I told you I'd talk that up. Yeah, having known full well that the result of the vote was leave, why did they then appoint for the leader of the Conservatives a woman who was backing the Remain campaign? You know, right. So, do you want to show us the instructions for the next bit, or do you want me to just go straight into it?
Yeah, can do, yeah. So we want to take the right seat frame, 45B, and the second right
Okay.
seat backrest, etc., etc.
Etc., etc. And if anyone can tell me the film that quote comes from, they can win a point. Quite what the point is for, I don't know. I'll decide on that one later. Etc., etc. And it's one of my favourite films. That's brought the whole place silent, hasn't it?
I don't actually know.
I had a feeling you wouldn't know because you are a fairly young person, aren't you? Not saying that young people can't know films, but I will give you a clue. It's a musical.
Everyone's saying The King and I.
That's the one. The King and I.
Oh, Chris Camplin put pointless.
Do you know, actually, Fleetwood J, I think that might actually be a really good comment. Right, that's the back arm.
Oh, that's a really valid point, Fight Sweet. He said, remember the supplement that came in issue 1? That has a photo of the underside of the bus, and the underside floor is black. Wonder if there's another floor section to come. Do you know what? I
Ah.
also, if you look at the supplement, it shows that the rear diffs and stuff are blue, and we haven't had
Yes. I wonder if that was like a first draft or if it was designed to be highlighted. You know how like the DeLorean and I think the R2D2 they highlight certain colors in yellow, the parts that you're actually working on this week.
that.
I wondered if that was the intention, and then Hachette decided, no, actually, that's too difficult. Because let's face it, we can't even manage stock issues, let alone highlighting the parts we're working on in blue. Sorry, that was a bit of a dig there, wasn't it? Right, so I'm happy with that. So, swan support. So, if this screw goes in perfect, please, please, please. There we go. Out of all of those, I've had one screw issue. However, I was kind of half expecting it. So I was kind of ready for it. And so really the power of feel is this screw there. And I now think if I tighten that anymore, it'll actually become looser. So be careful of that. It may not happen with your builds, but last issue I had quite a few problems with some of the seats, with some of the screws. I think what they've done is they kind of threaded, so you'll never tighten them up. But this week I was ready for it, and I think that's fine. That's sorted out. So guess what is next?
Okay, so have you got the other part to hand?
Oh, would that be the part with the engine noise on it?
Yes.
Sorry, I just think that was I just loved that. Right, so this is if I can fit it on the table. So this is not even so much as been looked at for the last 2 weeks. Well, it's been looked at, but right. So this is last week's part. So let's have a quick look at the instructions, and then we'll try and fit the seats.
Okay,
We'll
so
arrange the seats.
step 5 says align the support of the left seat frame 45A with the next two holes on the left of the floor 42A screwing through from underneath. Fix the support 45C in place with 2 JP screws.
Okay.
I think they overcomplicate these instructions.
They probably have. What I'm actually looking at is the placement of the knobbly bits. But now that we have a few seats in, they're a lot easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place them as I think the interpretation is. Now, I'm going to take this seat and I'm going to take this one because whatever happens, these are going on this side of the bus. Because if you see the plane part, right, doesn't matter what order they're in, they're definitely on this side of the bus. And then likewise, these two are definitely going on this side because then they line up with those. Then I'm going to place that one there and that one there just for now. And this one there, and this one there. The reason I'm placing them like that is if you look at the, let's call it knobbly bit. The knobbly bits are going every other seat. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to go there or there. So it has to go there. So now I'll do a comparison with the magazine, and I'm going to turn it upside down so that I can't see it. So the space, yeah. So I can see from the magazine that the space will be there, and there'll be another one there. Okay? So that's how I believe they go in. Does anybody disagree? So that's what this side will look like. And this side will look like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'll do these two first because I think these two can then just be placed there. And that one I'll put there. So let's be a bit scruffy, and let's just chuck a few JP screws on the table. Because I sometimes I find it quite difficult working from underneath. But once you get the first one in, it's usually not so difficult. There we go. So one in, as you can see, just enough to grab. Yep. And then, actually, to be honest with you, this is a lot easier than last week. If you're gentle, you can actually use these seats as a stand. You see how that now sits upright. So that doesn't feel like it went in. I didn't think so. You know when you're turning a screw and it turns too easily, and you think, yeah, I've not located that properly. So there we go. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to leave these loose. I'll explain why in a moment. No, I'm not. I'm going to do them. So I think what'll probably be easy if I just put my hands either side of it, and then I can turn it upside down, and I can finish it off that way. And you're going to let the screws lift the seat up, and then you're just going to get ready for it to start to get a little bit stiffer. There we go. That's not in full. I'll just turn it back. I'll make sure that's located okay. And then I'll just give that a final turn. I don't want to turn it too much in case the screws have been threaded. And we'll just do a comparison. Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy with that. So this one is going there, isn't it? So again, same as before. Now I said about putting my fingers either side of it. In actual fact, my fingers are small enough to just slip through the support. I'll show you that in a moment. So that's in just enough to grab it. Excuse me. Okay, there we go. So, look, I don't know if you can see, but my finger will actually go through that, so I can support it with 3 screws. So then I can turn it upside down, and then I'll screw that until it's almost fully tight. Once it starts to get a little bit harder, we can turn it round. We can check that they're in properly, which they are. And then I can just give them probably about half a turn until they're fully tight. In fact, actually, I am going to switch back to the Oria. You know I love that Oria more than anything else. There we go. So And then, of course, the advantage of doing one side at a time is if I now turn it over, I've now got 4 seats supporting the floor. So we'll do another little practice run. Remember, we've turned them around. So I think this one goes in there and this one goes in there. You in agreement?
Definitely, yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Like, because last week we missed a seat, didn't we? Obviously, the one you're on your right there. I wonder why they leave a seat and don't do it in order.
I think the reason being is because they've done 4 seats, 2 left, 2 right, one with the handle on it and one without. But because the front seats don't need that handle, because you've got the front of the bus, then you've got the back of the seat, you don't actually need the rail till you get to there. So you've got those two, although they could, there we go. So what they've done is if they'd have done it in a row, they'd have had to give us 2 right seats, but then that we might have got muddled up because we'd have had 2 identical seats. So they've given us those 2 to make them different. So now they've given us these 2 to make them different. And then in a future issue, they're obviously going to give us 1 left and 1 right. And it doesn't, well, they'll both, I suspect that they'll both be like this one without the handle.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, well, I suppose, yeah, that does make perfect sense, doesn't it?
I just kind of made that up and it just everyone agreed with me. So I'll go with that.
No, I think that is very. I mean, I suppose they could have just given us all of the left-hand side or all of the right-hand side, but then again, well, mind you, saying
you would
that,
have had duplicates then, wouldn't you?
yeah,
And I think that has the potential to confuse the odd person. It's not really confusing, but it's less confusing this way. If that makes any sense. Right, so seat going in, held in place. Sorry if you can't see this. Screw just in enough just to grab. Second screw going in. Okay. Then I'll pop the fingers through, 3 fingers, and then we'll turn it upside down so that we can work in a more natural position. And I am holding this in midair. I don't want to rest it on the ground because obviously these seats are quite fragile. There we go. And I did actually screw these in a little bit too much, but I got away with that. Remember I said to screw them in just until they're almost fully tight and then check? I did actually screw them in until they're tight. So that's my bad. I give you a piece of advice and then don't follow it. Okay, so I'm just going to pop these screws away because I think that's all the screws we're going to need for this issue. So that one goes there. Now, I've said this before, but yeah, always do a dry fit. Or at least as much as you can. I think with partworks, we tend to call it more, what do we call it? Bring them together. Marry the parts together. That's it. Okay, so those 2 screws are in enough just to bite. So again, this one's a little bit more difficult to work because most of the weight is down that end now. So we'll screw those gently until they're almost fully tight. And then we'll just check that the pegs have gone in properly. That one I'm not 100% happy. Oh, there we go. Right, so I didn't actually screw them in as well as I could. So we'll just repeat the last step. We'll give them about another 1 turn perhaps. I just want to make sure that they locate properly and not actually sit on top of anything. There we go. I'm happy with that. Right. Johnson, I've just seen your question. I will deal with that one. I promise you. There we go. So try not to have an Arduino hanging around when you've got seats, because they tend to get a little bit tangled. So there we go. I think that is, yep, that is the complete parts this week.
Yeah.
So your viewpoint.
Yeah. Again, it's just they're nice bulky parts. It's really building the deck up, isn't it? And
yeah.
What's weird though is how all the seats are slightly skewy.
I was just thinking that. I don't know if you saw me bending them, but I think that when we put these together, because we've got some screw holes there, so that's obviously going to go into the side. There's a bit of flexibility there, and I think that once we come to screw them in, that will see this one now.
Yeah.
I think that will pull that into shape. If I sit there pulling it about a lot, it's probably going to break, but just a little twist just to get it into place, I think that won't do it any harm. It could also be the way I've screwed them in, because this one kind of clicked a little bit. So, but there's enough flexibility there. So perhaps plastic was the correct choice to make for the supports, because I think that when they're actually in place, that support, because you're pushing straight down on it, it can take quite a bit of weight.
Yeah.
There's not going to be any weight on it, but they're surprisingly strong. So I think that'll be fine. I think once we get the walls in, the skin, whatever you want to call it, I think that will straighten those up. Remember when we had this problem with the chassis? A lot of people complained about the chassis. Once we got those safety bars on, it's now solid as a rock. Oh, Chris, your jokes, they're awful. BNAG, that's bang out of order. That's terrible. Right, so I just want to pick up on a comment that Johnson Hazel has made. He said, what are you doing about the protruding screw heads on the back of the seats, which is these ones? I'm actually going to do absolutely nothing. I've got a feeling that because this piece is showing there, I've got a feeling there's something going over the back of those. I may be wrong, but I can't imagine them leaving it like that. However, saying that, is it too late to do anything about these now that we've got seats in? So I suppose my actual answer is I don't know.
I wonder if the because obviously I've actually never been on a Routemaster bus, to be fair, but you know, like the old buses and coaches, you used to be able to smoke on them, and the seats always had ashtrays in the back of them.
That's the one.
Have that?
I think so. I know all the buses that I was on, they used to have a little silver thing, and it wasn't an ashtray. It was actually a stubber. You used to stub your cigarette out on it and then just drop it on the floor, which, when you think about it now, is absolutely awful. Sorry, I'm just looking at all these terrible jokes that are coming out. You know, I'm not even going to repeat half of them. They're that bad. People have the audacity to say my jokes are bad. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this. I don't know. I suppose we could do something about them. Perhaps got a little piece of we could get a little piece of vinyl and just cut it to shape and then stick it over. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would cover those holes up. At least then it wouldn't show as, because even though you've never been on a real Routemaster, you didn't have these two massive black circles on the back.
No, I think we need to wait and just see what
Yeah.
comes up. It could be that they, yeah, as you say, we're going to add something there. I don't think we should worry just at the moment.
No, I mean, how many times have we genuinely said, I'm not really happy with that? And then later on in an issue, something's happened and we're like, oh, that's brought all of that together.
Mm.
So, we don't know what and they are stretching this out. I've got a feeling that this is a model that they could probably do in, say, 100, 110 parts. So they're dragging little bits out. So I think there might be like small little changes that they'll make along the way. I don't mean that negatively. Right. So do you want to do the part that I'm dreading, which is a look at next week's issue?
Yep. Okay. So
I'm going to get my cigarette ready because I'm going to chill out before we look at this. So next week, we have the first figurine is supplied with the next issue, a city gent in a bowler hat. And is there a picture to go with that? There we go. So I'm going to ask you your views, Horlicks, first of all.
okay, so my first, well, actually, I will read my response I sent to Penny earlier. I messaged her. I messaged
because
her.
it was all written in capital letters.
Yeah,
because
that's right.
So excited.
I wrote it all in capital letters to her. Wow, have you seen by any chance what's coming in issue 46? And a load of exclamation marks. And then I got a response that I'm not going to repeat because, mind you, it's after the. No, it's not quite after the watershed. We've still got 3 minutes.
Did I speak naughty to you?
Well, no, you just said yes. What a load of.
Oh yes.
And I'm sure we can guess what came next.
It wasn't the most favourable response.
But no, I was actually really surprised and quite excited about it. And the reason why is because I know you were going to possibly 3D print some models, and there was nothing written about actually having figurines in the Routemaster. So for me, it was a massive surprise.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to finish it off really nicely.
Right. My response to that is, if that is all we are getting in next week's issue, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm unhappy. I know you said it's all about the complete build, and I totally agree with you. But I'm looking to build something. If I wanted to spend $8.99 a week or a fortnight on figures, then I would buy the Assassin's Creed magazine, or I would buy Marvel Comics, or the Batman one looks rather good, or even better still, the Doctor Who magazine or the Game of Thrones. I actually have bought this to build something every week. If we're going to get something with it, for example, I can see 2 more seats on the lower deck. There's 2 gaps in the seats. So if they gave us 2 seats and a figurine, I'll probably be over the moon. But if we are getting a figure, I can't see. They've given us 3 views there, and I think they're different views.
Yeah.
If we're getting 3 city gents all in exactly the same position, I'm not going to use. I don't really want to use the expression value for money, because you use that phrase that I've used. It's all about the build at the end. This isn't $8.99 a week. It's £1,300 for the whole model. But I certainly don't want 3 identical figures. and I don't really want one figure as an issue. I apologize if I upset anyone with that view. That's my opinion. Other opinions may vary.
Hmm.
But
So I suppose in a way then, perhaps instead of, I suppose you're not happy that, oh, I can't get my words out.
I didn't buy the Routemasters to collect figures.
So basically, I think what you're saying is you are happy to receive the models, but
Oh
maybe
yeah.
your opinion may be that perhaps we could have got the whole selection of figurines possibly as a free gift or something along the way.
No. If they want, like, I want to get my screwdriver out every single issue. If they gave, like, they've given us 4 seats, and they've given us 4 seats the issue before. If they gave us 1 or 2 seats and a figurine, I would be happy. I would appreciate that they can't give us as many seats because obviously Hachette needs to make a profit. That's what they're in the business for. So if you're getting more of one thing, you need to get less of something else. But I want to get my screwdriver out every issue.
Mm. Well, and also like I think I've answered the question because we've seen the build, and no pun intended, but I would have thought that possibly you would have screwed them up the bottom or something to keep them on the seat.
That sounds very on the buses.
Because you could sit them in the bus, but if we won't be able to access the bottom deck, what's to say when you move it they're not going to start rolling around?
Yeah,
They're going to be
yeah,
on their backs with their legs in the air.
yeah. If it was, see, you've now said that, I'm now inclined to think perhaps we are getting an extra seat, and that seat will have a hole in it for a screw hole. If the description was the first figure is supplied with the next issue, a city gent in a bowler hat, and work continues on the seats, then I would be very happy. But it just says first figurine is supplied with the next issue, a city gent in a bowler hat. I would like a little bit more to do, even if they'd have supplied us with some parts and then said, I mean, even if they gave us this city gent and then a pack of screws, and then we start to put the floor into the chassis, I've got my screwdriver out then. Does that make sense? I don't want to come across as ungrateful. I love this build. I really do love this build, and I will defend this build to the end. But I think to just go, here you go, here's a thing, it's going to balance on one of the seats.
Okay, so I'm just going to go back up and just read some of the comments we had earlier. So Mike Durkin said, "Is it true we're getting a man in the next issue?" So yes, obviously we've just gone through that. Rusty Dean said, "Yeah, I believe it's a man with a bowler hat." And then Fleetwood J said, "Yeah, yes, we're getting a gentleman figure in issue 46." Chris Campbell said, "Cool." And then Mike said it's $8.99 a issue though.
See, I'm not going to quibble about the cover price to get a figure. That's not my quibble.
No,
my quibble is this. I want to do this every week. That's why I bought this. I don't know if you remember when I started this Routemaster build, I also started the Marvel figurines, and the Marvel figurines were really nice. However, I cancelled it because there wasn't really anything to do. It was just, I've got some Assassin's Creed figures. Again, I cancelled those. And these are absolutely amazing. However, all I do is I open the packet and then I do that. And that's my whole work done for a fortnight. That's not what I'm into. You know, whether they charge us £1 an issue or £20 an issue, I'm not going to quibble. The cover price is the cover price, and you make your choice. The the RAF magazine. I looked at the price, and I would have been happy to pay that price, but past performance suggested to me it's not value for me. For you, different story.
So yeah, then Fighter Swoop said, to be honest, a one-off resin figure of any sort would cost more than £8.99. But again, we just covered that. It's not so much the price; it's the build for you, then, Penny.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that they can sell us a £9 figure, and it's valued at £9. We know they're going to get it cheaper. And I mean, it's the same with. I mean, I do model figures. This I'm trying to find something. This is a bad example, but if this was a hero figure, what they call a hero, like a sergeant or a lieutenant, this would cost £15, and these sell thousands every day. So you know it is what it is, and these cost probably 50p to make. So it's things cost whatever they cost, and you have that choice. So
okay, yeah, and then Rusty said after that we all know we're getting a conductor sometime in the future, so the extra passenger was a nice surprise for him. And that's a bit like me. I didn't even expect to have any figurines. I didn't even know we were going to get a conductor, to be honest. So for me, it was a bit of a surprise. And I think it will look, you know, it's just, yes, overall look and the aesthetics of the bus when it's finished is going to be amazing. But I completely agree with your opinion as well. You know, there's pros and cons to it. So
the figures are nice, and it's nice to have them. It adds, it turns, it makes a static model more dynamic. You can see the passengers on the bus. You can sense an atmosphere on the bus. You know, oh, lovely! It's Monday. We're off to work. I'm looking forward to getting to work, and it's really nice. But I don't want just a figure. I say this is my opinion. You know, if they gave us the figure, well, if we completed the remaining 2 seats, and then the next week they gave us a figure and a packet of screws, and they said, right, here's the screws to fix the floor to the chassis, I would then be happy.
But then saying that, we don't know. We might get some more parts, because you know what these pictures are like. Like that other issue we had, you know, there was a lot more to do than what the picture was letting on.
Yeah, they surprise us every week. We've had pictures before, and I've looked at the picture and I've thought this is going to be the worst issue we've had so far. And when we've actually got the magazine, I'm like, oh my God, look at all of that. Wonderful. So we don't know what we're getting. We've just seen a picture. I mean, look at the driver's cab. The pictures of that looked awful, but wasn't the driver's cab actually really good fun? So, you know, when they show us a little picture with a little tiny handle and that's all you really see. But I mean, like, for me personally, I'm trying to think of the right word. The least stimulating issue that I've had were the back wheels, because there was very little to do. But at least we got the screwdriver out, and we actually did something. But yeah, I mean, I'm probably moaning too much, and I'm making too much of this. The actual answer, and I suppose thinking about it, if our opinions were reversed, and you were saying what I've just said, my response to you would probably be, well, let's see what we get next week, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think we're just speculating, aren't we? That we're just going to get that, and there won't be anything to do. But you know, we could be wrong.
Yeah, Johnson Hazel just said yes, you are, and I presume that's a response to me saying I'm probably over moaning. So
yeah. I mean, what was I going to say? Yeah, the life of Brian said he's spiffing.
Oh, he is. He absolutely is.
Yeah,
Yeah, he looks fantastic, and he looks very period as well, very 60s, 70s.
Fleetwood
He,
said they think we're getting 8 figures driver and conductress. Gives us the Sol said, well, it gives us the era, so that it means we won't be getting any rowdy school kids on the upper deck.
oh God, do not talk to me about rowdy school kids.
Uh, and then Lifebrine said he looks like one of those street performers who loom like they're sitting in nothing. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean.
I know
They
exactly
sit
what
really
you mean.
still
Yeah.
up on a stick, and I used to know how they did that, and I've forgotten now.
So I'm going to set everybody some homework. For those of you that get your issues from the newsagents, when you get your issue in 2 weeks, have a look at him and let's build a background story for this chap. And I think because I do that when I paint my figures, I build a story and a background for them.
I've
I
already got
imagine
one.
you've already got one. Do you want to share, or do you want to wait till next week?
Well, it's up to you. No, as soon as I saw him, like he reminds me of Mary Poppins and the bank
Right.
manager.
Do you know what I was thinking, bank manager?
Yeah, I think he's going for his shift in the bank. He looks like some sort. Yeah, it's just because he
He's
looks like.
he's very middle class, isn't he?
Mm,
I can see him. He comes home, and he might be he could be an MP, but he'll probably change into his dinner suit, and then he'll have his dinner, which has been prepared by his wife, and she's very obedient and very cliche, very stereotypical 60s wife. And as soon as he's had his dinner, he'll probably pop his smoking jacket on, and then he'll pop into the lounge and he'll have a cigar and probably read the rest of probably read the Times, because he's not had time to read the Times because he spent all day reading the Financial Times. So
um,
so oh, Fleetwood J. Yeah, that was you who sent me the pictures, wasn't it, today? I will share this. It's sorry, I get muddled up with YouTube names and Facebook names. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to be a bit presumptuous with the permissions, but someone sent me some modifications they made, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to show you on my phone. But I thought this was absolutely amazing. So somebody, Jason, I've forgotten the rest of your name. He has made a driver's lunchbox, flask, and newspaper. And this is absolutely amazing. There is no other way to describe it. So let me change my view. Right, and I'm sorry that the light. Let me fix that focus, because this is absolutely mind blowing. Would help if I did the focus on the correct camera, wouldn't it? There we go. There we go. Look at that. Let me turn that off and try and get a little bit less. How amazing is that?
yeah, really good.
The newspaper, everything. I dare anybody to come up with any negative comments for that, because you just couldn't. That is just brilliant. So, and I think that that's come about from idea sharing, isn't it?
Mm.
Because I know on one of the other yeah, there you go. Dave says absolutely brilliant. Chris Campling says, oh wow. Oh, you got that was you, Fleetwood J. Yeah, got the bits off eBay. Looks brilliant. But I remember saying that an idea I had for a newspaper was to find a copy of a newspaper online, and they must exist. Put them into Photoshop and then reduce them down to 12% on Photoshop or something, and then find the thinnest printer paper you can and print it off. And the very next day, might have even been 2 days later, Jason came. He sent me a photo of a newspaper he made. Now that's a brilliant idea. Ticket machine. I will work on that, but other guys as well. If you could all work on it again, idea exchange. This is what I love about this. We all exchange ideas. Right, I'm going to just sort of just put this away because obviously it's not quite with the sound box. It's not quite level, so I'm dying to just pop it back on the bus in case I knock it.
Okay.
Mind.
So yeah, Dave, so just in your comment, we'll have to wait and see what we get next issue. You never know; we may get another parts or instructions for future parts. I actually quite like the gent; gives a period feel to the London bus.
Yeah, I do like him, and you know me, I will enjoy next week. I will definitely enjoy it, but I would just be
Not as
well.
much.
You know my thoughts.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I've put up with the back wheels. I thought the back wheels were not as stimulating as they could be, but then we had parts that were very, very stimulating. If you take an average of every issue, what we're up to 45. So if you look at all the stimulation I've had for 45 issues and you average that out, then I'm enjoying every issue. So you know, please don't anyone think that I don't like this, man. I love this. This is the best thing I've ever done. Between this and the R2 and a new, do you want to see a new project I'm working on?
Why not?
It's very, very early stages. If you has anyone been watching if anyone has been watching World of Wayne's live streams, you may well get this straight away. But I've only built 3 parts so far because it's a lot bigger than I thought. And this is it. And this is actually a lot more amazing than I thought it was.
I think I know what that might be.
Go on, have a guess. Anyone else want to have a guess before Horlicks says anything? And it's come out rather clean and nice. And it's got screw holes and supports and things on the top. The second part that I did has not come out very well, so I've had to redo that.
Oh, I'm not sure now, actually. I've got 2 ideas.
Okay. Well, we'll give the others a moment.
Yeah.
Have the issues been charged fortnightly just for the Christmas period? Right. I'll give you a quick rundown on what I now think about the subscriptions. I was expecting some issues round about this week. And obviously I'm expecting 4 issues, not 2. Excuse me. I still believe that the subscribers will end up 2 weeks ahead of the news agents, and then the news agents will catch up, get a little bit ahead, and then the subscribers will jump ahead. We've not had any issues, but someone did post on one of the Facebook groups about stock issues, and then Horlicks has received 4 issues. So I think there is supposed to be a delay. I think if we were having our issues delayed, I think Horlicks would have his delayed. So I think we're going to get 4 issues as soon as they come in stock. And then we could end up with 4 more issues 2 weeks later. So if you budget for this as a subscriber, keep budgeting, because I think you might end up, don't go, oh, because there's no issues, we haven't got to pay for them, I'll spend the money. Keep that money, because you may end up paying twice in 2 weeks, but then you haven't paid for 6 weeks, if that makes sense. So we've had Here's another extra going in my bus. Oh my God. Can I show that, Fleetwood? The message you've just sent me? But while I'm waiting for that response, I will ask Horlicks to see if he can guess what this is.
Is it an owl?
It is an owl. Yes. It's a very special owl.
And my second guess was, can I say, a lampshade?
No. No.
And I
It's
got
not a
that by the
lampshade.
look of the inside. It looks like a lampshade fitting.
What it actually is, it's where is the new screwdriver? What, this one? Or do you mean
Oh yeah, you
this?
said you bought yourself a new present.
Oh, the new screwdriver. Okay, let me carry on talking about this one. This is Bubo the owl. He features on Clash of the Titans. I'm actually making it for Mrs. World of Wayne. World of Wayne has been quite inspirational to me. So I said I'd be quite happy to make one. Now, I didn't actually, I thought it was just a model, but it turns out that it's actually going to be fully working, and I've lost the screwdriver. Can you believe that? Guys, I can't show you my new screwdriver.
Oh, you can't do that. You can't get all the suspense up
I
about a
will
new
find it.
present.
Well, look, this is part of the package that I bought.
God, that feels like it was years ago.
Here's another part. Here's another part. Here's a magazine. And this is the reason I bought it. So yeah, I bought the battery tester, but it was £9.99 for the first issue. So I bought the first issue with the intention of cancelling it. I'm not going to continue the build. I can't see the point in doing a half scale R2 when I've got the full scale one sitting there.
Oh, I've just had a brilliant idea. Oh no, actually wouldn't fit. It could have been like those Russian dolls. You could have had the smaller R2 pop out of the big one.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this Bubo, it looks absolutely amazing. It's got LEDs to change the color of the eyes. The eyes spin, the wings flap, and the head moves, and I think the body moves, and it does it all kind of randomly. So it's just sitting there doing nothing, and then it makes all the noises and everything. And
Where did this come from?
where did it come from? Oh, it came from Thingiverse.
Oh, and what does it run on? Arduino.
It runs on an Arduino. Yes. Right. If I find this screwdriver, I will show you. But anyone who collects R2D2 now knows exactly what it looks like. So let me show you this. Right. What paint on the bus to paint screws? Ah, there we go. Next 4 issues are being sent out this Friday. Right. So if they're going to send us 4 issues, that will put the subscribers ahead. So, if I get those issues before Wednesday, I will be able to see what's coming before the issue comes out. And I will, because the next issue is out in 2 weeks. That's put me on the spot now.
So So if you get them in time, we should be able to do the build on Wednesday.
But then we'd have nothing to do the following week.
Yeah, but you get 4 issues. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I'll throw it out there. I personally, I'm not the biggest fan of sport. This is one of the arguments I had on Facebook. It's a real shame with the Facebook group because after I was brought back in the group and then I left, I got answers to my questions, and now I've got answers to the questions. I'm very happy. The two questions I wanted to know was a why were we not allowed to post YouTube videos? And the answer to that is that there has been some embarrassing Facebook YouTube videos, and it could potentially bring embarrassment to the group, which is a response that I can 100% support. Unfortunately, you can't say you can't post videos and you can. So you've either got to put a blanket ban and ban them all or allow them all. The second one is I wasn't happy with people posting pictures of their build before Wednesday. And I spoke to the admin and he says, look, I'm really sorry. There's actually nothing we can do about that. How do we police that? I said, like, if people put like spoiler alert and then put carriage return 15 times and then posted their message, it says spoiler alert at the top. So if you don't want to see it, you don't open it. And like I say, Kevin said, there isn't anything we can do about that. How do we police that? If someone posts something, how do we actually go, oh, no, you're not allowed that? So the answer he came up with is more of a compromise, which is don't look at the Facebook group on a Tuesday. I know it sounds a little bit of a funny thing, but it's actually a response that works. And if I'd have got those answers before I'd been brought back in the Facebook group, I'd have been very happy to come back in the Facebook group. But because the admins thinks that I'm messing about by coming into the group and then leaving, I now can't ever rejoin that group. So that's how it is. Anyway, I'm waffling too much there now. I think I'm sending you to sleep, aren't I, Horlicks?
No, and the other thing they could do, they could have like approved posts, like the R2D2 group, like they're monitoring that closely at the moment, and it feels a little bit schoolish, but every post has to be approved by a member of admin before it goes live.
Which is the case with the Routemasters group.
So that is a way of policing it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get what they say about the about the YouTube videos, because if someone joins the group and I was about to say Dave is an admin, but yeah, if someone is just perhaps like say I might go, oh, that Routemaster looks interesting, we'll have a look, and I join the group just to see what it looks like, have a look at what people are posting about, and then a couple of people post a video and I think, oh, I'll have a look at this video, and it's totally embarrassing and it's totally crap, and then I'll end up going, no, I'm not touching that build, that looks awful. So I totally get the YouTube thing. So, but I think what happens is when you post on YouTube, so long as you put your keywords correct, people will find you anyway. And if they like you, they carry on watching. If they don't like you, they stop watching. Simple as that. So anyway, I've got another picture to show you from Jason Fleetwood. And this is another amazing one. And I'm going to have to, I think I'm just going to send him some money and an envelope. This is, there we go.
Oh, wow.
Dandy from Joe. Yeah, exactly. I really want that. So Fleetwood, what can I do to get a copy of those? I know it's copying you, but I want that. Dave, obviously I wouldn't mind rejoining. Now that I have the answers to my questions, I'm more than happy. But at the same time, I don't want to get you in trouble. So what I will say is, if I have the opportunity to rejoin the group, I will rejoin. But if I don't have the opportunity to rejoin, I won't have any sleepless nights about it.
Maybe
Um,
I'd say to Dave, right, instead of, obviously you don't want Dave to get in trouble, maybe
no,
Dave can have a word with the person that decided
yeah,
you couldn't
yeah,
and just clear it just to make sure.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, I received a message from Corey based on what Corey saw, Corey's perspective. So, but that's fine, you know. And as I say, I spoke to Kevin, and it's not the most perfect solution, but the solution we come up with is that I won't be looking at that Facebook group on a Tuesday. So, anyway, the reason I brought that up is, you know, my thoughts on spoilers. If I got my issue a week early, what do you guys think about me building it? Would you rather I know it's going to be hard for me because when I've had a couple of times I've had the issue on a Tuesday and I've had it sitting on my table and it's staring at me going, open me, open me, open me. And I've been going, no, I'm not going to open you till Wednesday. And that was really hard to not open it. But would you like me to build it on the day that it's due to be released? Because remember, a lot of people get newsagents issues and they may well feel the same as me. They may want to participate in this live build, but they don't want to see the issue before the day of release. And I would totally respect that. I would be a hypocrite if I didn't. My tobacco tin, it came from Poundland. And I find it really hard to buy tobacco tins from Poundland because 90% of them have cannabis pictures on them, which I really am not into. So,
I'm funny with tobacco tins. I like the long ones, the proper size ones.
oh, see, now I like the smaller ones because then I can. Right. So Dave's got the opinion to do the issues weekly as it is now. Um, oh, thank you very much, Steve Lee. Yeah, not joking, but I looked around for videos on building the Routemasters, and you and Horlicks are by far the best and most
Oh,
informative. Yeah, I started off by doing a build video, and I think an instruction video isn't quite working for me. Um, there are people out there that do instruction videos and they do them a little bit better for me. I'm more build diary. But there's a really, really good one. I've forgotten his name now. Is it something 1985? He's coming a little bit late.
oh, back to 1985, I think it is.
Yeah, aren't his videos absolutely perfect? I really want to try and get him on the show because he is amazing. And I think I saw, oh, there was someone else doing some videos. Um, oh, some daft guy. He's got a picture of a bus for his intro. Do you know what I mean? But his are quite good anyway. He is a few weeks behind us, but yeah,
You're
that
t-
one's just gone totally over your head, hasn't it?
no, I was thinking, are you talking about me?
Yes, I was talking
But
about
then I
you.
was like, I'm more than a few weeks. That's why I got confused. I was
You are,
like,
well, sorry, I'm trying to just, I can never find a lighter that actually works.
no, I'm
Okay.
really, really, really bad at jokes. So
You're getting better though.
it takes me like a week to get them, and then I'll just start bursting out laughing at the most inappropriate time because I've thought about it. So,
Oh, what was that? It was a bus joke I saw the other day. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Someone posted something on Facebook. It really made me laugh. I have a lot of people, if they see anything vaguely bus related, they tag me in it. And it was a picture of a driver's cab. And the caption said, when I was at school, The teacher always told me no one will ever pay you to stare out of windows. How wrong she was. And I just thought that was brilliant. Because we've all been told that, haven't we? Oh, no one will ever pay you to stare out of windows. And here I am. My job is looking through a window.
Yeah.
So the general consensus is that we are going to keep the bill the same. So if I got 4 issues before Boxing Day, I won't open the magazine. I might open it to scan it. It really depends on Adrian if he gets his issue. But Adrian's getting his from the newsagent, so he shouldn't get his before Boxing Day. But excuse me, the problem with Boxing Day is that that reminds me, I need to talk about Boxing Day now. I'm working Boxing Day and I'm finishing around about 7:30, but I'm not doing a split shift. So I've not got the chance to come home and scan the magazine in if
Oh, hang on
Adrian
though.
can't do it. Hang on though.
I'm not sure if I can do Boxing Day.
Okay, that's not a problem. To be honest with you, I'm expecting a lot of people to not be able to do it because it is more of a family day, isn't it?
That's that's the 26th, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think I am going to be in Tunbridge Wells, and
Okie dokie.
we'll be leaving about because my partner finishes work at 6:15, so we're leaving about 7. So I'll be out for the evening.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I mean, I'm not. This isn't a prison sentence. You don't have to do every week.
No, as I say, it's only it's obviously being
I
Boxing
mean,
Day.
it won't be. It won't be. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, you left early last week.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest with you. I carried on without you, but I could just feel the whole show go. Woo! It was really weird that was. We've got so used to having you on, it just wasn't the same.
Oh.
So right next week. I wanted to do this last week, but I ended up leaving at short notice. As you know, we're having a quiz on the 2nd of January with some fantastic prizes. I'm a little tiny bit scared. I don't know how many people we can get on a stream. I suspect it would be as many as we want. So what I would really like to do is next week try and get lots of guests on. So if anybody's interested, if you've got me on Facebook, send me a message. And then what I'll do is this all right with you as well, Horlicks?
Yeah.
Because it's next week's not going to be a build. It's basically going to be a chat and banter session. So it'll serve a double purpose. We'll be able to put some faces to names, and also we'll be able to see if it can handle well. So we'll just chuck things around. We'll just have a 2-hour chat session and go for it.
Are you gonna? So I assume we're gonna have people on at once or just one at a time?
We will get as many people. I'm looking at maybe 5 or 6 people, and then what will happen? I will try to. At the moment, if you talk, say something.
Hello.
Right. So as you talk, it's flicked over to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I talk, it flicks over to back to me. I can override it and stick to someone, which is how I'm planning to do it for the quiz. But as we chat, hopefully the screen will flick to whoever it is. So there's my box there. Well, this is how I look at it. My box is there. Horlicks' box is there. So say, for example, Dave Say might be there. Dave Milne might be there. I'm making names up now. Fleetwood J's box might be there. And then as they talk, their box will then come up full. And the way that I'm thinking about doing the quiz is I will ask the question and then your buzzer will be you saying your name. So if I say, who is the greatest partwork builder other than myself? Horlicks will go, Horlicks.
Horlicks.
That's it. You see, so you see how your screen popped up. That's the theory, anyway.
I can see one very small flaw with that.
Okay.
I think obviously we had, with the amount of viewers, I'm sure that a lot of people may not have the technology to come on. So if they don't,
Yeah.
how would they be able to enter in with the quiz? That's the
Well,
only thing.
that is why I decided to give a prize to a viewer. I've got to draw the line somewhere. If you haven't got video, but you've got a microphone, you will be able to come in. But what will happen is, let's see if I can do this without destroying the stream. Right, that is what you should look like if you don't have a video camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's me with no video camera, but you can still hear me. So if this was me and I'd go paint with penny, and it will come up with my icon. I'm going to put the camera back on now. So you can still take part if you don't have a video camera, but you won't be able to take part if you don't have a microphone. And let's be fair here. This is a chat show. If you don't have the ability to chat, we're going to have to say, I'm sorry. But for those that genuinely can't get on, maybe their internet connection's too slow, or they're not able to work it, they've still got the chance to win a prize. And if anyone can come up with a better suggestion, there you go, Paul. If you want to come on but you don't want to show your video, I totally respect that. If you go back just over a year, you wouldn't see me on either.
Well, the
I
only other thing we could do is still have, oh, I don't know, so still have people on, just for general discussion, and then perhaps when we do the quiz, just do it chat based. So you ask the question, and then the first correct answer we see in the chat wins the prize.
yeah.
Or
Well,
no,
this is
not the prize, but we take the first correct answer, and then I can take note of that here on a piece of paper or something,
yeah.
and then tot up the scores that way.
Let me just do something. You're gonna think I'm daft, right? But I'm just gonna check my delay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 8. Right. There's approximately an 18-ish second delay between me talking and that actually broadcasting. So if I ask a question, obviously you're getting it straight away. So you'll go, Horlicks, the answer is blah, 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 blah. And I'll go, correct, Horlicks, you won a point. But people on the type chat, they're competing against other people on the type chat. So they can actually get their answer in. Does that make sense? They can get their answer in later on.
Mm,
That makes sense, kind of, I
I
think.
think so.
Anyway, Dave Milne, yes, you can use the mic from your computer, the built-in one. The quality won't be as good as a specialized mic. But again, this is perhaps what we're looking at next week. And then obviously you can decide, are you happy with what you've got? The end of the day, so long as we can make out the words that you're saying, then that's absolutely fine. I watch a lot of live streams, and you get some people, they have really poor equipment, but you can see them, you can see what they're trying to do. In fact, some of my Twitch streams are really poor. I haven't really got the best setup for painting miniatures, but you can pretty much make out what I'm trying to do. So we'll see. You know, you don't need the best quality. What I'd also
Oh,
like is for someone who's got a mobile phone to come on. So I'd be interested to know how easy you can stream on a mobile phone. But
but
don't,
yeah, I mean, I've got one here, so we could always have a test. I could always come
yeah,
on my mobile next week just to see.
yeah,
But I was going to say, Kevin Gates just said he wouldn't have a clue how to broadcast. What'll happen is Penny will actually send you a link um, via Facebook or text or however. All you do is follow the link, and that's it. Done.
yeah.
Really easy.
Let me just quickly, this will take days because you know my computer's slow when I, no, actually, I've got a sheet somewhere. Let me look at my duties for next week. Right, what am I on this week? I've lost my sheet for this week. Right, 116 I'm on.
No
Sorry.
worries, Steve Lee. Thank you for popping in. Steve's got to go, and he's wishing us a very happy and peaceful Christmas.
Yeah, no
Thank you for
problems.
the
You too.
last year's builds.
No problems. Thank you for taking part. Next week I finish work at 10 to 7. So nice early. See, I always get the early finishers when we haven't got anything to build. Just the way it works out. So what I'll probably do is I'll set the show up. We actually set the show up before the show. I like to try and get it set up for about 7:30. So next week I'll be in a position to get the show set up around about 7. So if you're interested in coming on, try to have a bit of a laugh. We're not going to take it seriously. It's mostly aimed at like a question session. We might go through some of the old magazines, have a bit of a recap. Try and come on about, send us a message and I will get you ready for 7 o'clock. I'll send you the link. We'll have a little practice session before we go live at 8 o'clock. And yeah, we could try a hangout before Wednesday. I'm trying to think when the best time will be. Um, excuse me. As it stands, I'm not working Saturday, but I got a feeling I will have. I'm going to try and get hold of a shift. I always work Saturdays overtime, and there's no shifts going at the moment because damn agency drivers are taking all the shifts. No, I don't moan at agency because if it wasn't for agency, I wouldn't be in Newport now. So
Oh, good night, Fleetwood J. Thank you very much for watching.
yeah, no problems. You take care. Thank you very much. And thanks for the pictures. They're absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah, stunning.
That reminds me, he's given me some. Oh, I think he did it on Facebook. There we go. So let me just check. I know he gave me some numbers. Oh, yeah. No, Fleetwood J has given. Right. Let me share that with the group then. Actually, I'm going to have to open up. If I can find it. Bidding. Right. So these are a couple of eBay item numbers, which he's very kindly shared with me. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love you guys. Until next time, all the best. So there's item numbers for the Jelly Babies and the Beano. So yeah, and I'm going to see if I can find anything as well because it'd be great. Bird's custard. I know that's an odd thing to have on a bus, but bird's custard. I will see if I can get a custard bag of shopping left on the bus. What do you think to that?
That would be amazing.
Because as a bus driver, that is the most exciting thing that people can leave on the bus. Because we have a rule: any lost property, we have to hand it into the office. So purses, mobile phones, anything, they go into the lost property office. Anything perishable can't be handed into the lost property office because you can't have a 4 pint of milk sitting in the office for 6 months waiting for someone to claim it. So you can do whatever you want with it. So anyone leaves a bag of shopping, that's now mine. And I had a lady once left 4 bags of shopping, and it was all Marks and Spencer stuff. And she'd left her shopping on the bus, and I didn't notice until I got into the depot at night. So I went home with 4 bags of shopping, and there were steaks in there and all sorts of nice things.
But it's sad though as well, isn't it? I mean, yeah, there's not a lot you can do about it because it's going to ruin, as you say. But I think
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
Well, I think you probably just switch off to that. A child's. The only thing is, have I told you my story about the child lost property?
Don't think so.
I will tell you that quickly now. It's the weirdest story ever. Basically, I was doing the last bus of the night on this particular route, and I stopped at this stop, and there was a young child, a woman, and a man, and they got on my bus. Now they were kind of fighting, but I just thought, just can't be bothered. You don't want any aggravation on your last trip. You want to go home on time. And this is back in the days when we called the last trip the driver's trip, which means you leave your terminus on time. Then you just put your foot down, you go. If you're early, you're early. You can't get away with that anymore. But anyway, so you got this man and woman, they're arguing, and they both sat down together and they argued and shouted and it's like, I can't be bothered. I just have I checked on my box? You'll have to elaborate on that, on my box. Are you talking about the parcel that I've got coming? Anyway, so this couple were arguing, and I just left it. I just couldn't be bothered. I was about 20 minutes from finishing my shift. Bell goes, I pull into the next stop, and the woman gets off the bus. Lovely. So then I carry on, and about 4 stops from the terminus, the bell goes again, and the man gets off. And as he gets off, I stop him and I go, "Oh, excuse me." He went, "What?" I said, "Haven't you forgotten something?" And he went, "What?" And I said, "Your child. Your child's still sitting there." And he just looks at me and he goes, "It's not my kid, it's hers." And I went, "What, your girlfriend's?" And he goes, "No, it's not my girlfriend." He goes, "I've never met her before in my life before tonight." And then walks off, leaving me with a child on the bus, about 3 years old. So we had to call the police, and child services came and all sorts. And I'm like, because I made the comment, I said, does a child count as perishable goods? And my inspector said, no, you can't take it home with you. But weirdest bit of lost property, because I always say, make sure you take your kids off, because anything you leave on the bus will be put on eBay. But obviously I say that as a joke. I don't actually mean I'm going to sell your child on eBay. Right, Love Minis, the last check I had on that parcel, it was about 2 days ago. It's cleared customs. So, but yeah, that's the weirdest lost property I've had. I'd say the best is 4 bags of shopping. You often get milk, and milk's great because milk is something that I always use. What else have I had? The best use of lost property. I love my April Fool's jokes, as you probably know. And one year so there was a blind person stick in lost property, and I said, so you got a pair of dark glasses I can have? And this is a true story. I'm actually not joking. So what I'd done was I got this stick and I got these dark glasses, and I was pretending to be blind. And on changeover, I went up to the number plate and I was feeling the number plate. And because I had someone helping me to the bus, and I felt this number plate, and I went, "Yep, this is my bus. Definitely mine. It's the right one." And I got into the driver's cab and I booked on and everything. And this woman, she said, "Oh, how are you going to drive this?" I said, "Well," "Oh," they said, "Are you going to be all right to drive this?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, it's fine." I said it's a new incentive that the company's got. I won't mention the name of the company, but they're not second. Um, I said it's a new equal opportunities thing. You know, they want to encourage everybody to come back to work. I said, and they've got this new system where there's a buzzer inside the cab. I said, and if I get one buzzer, it means to turn left. And if I get two buzzers, it means to turn right. And if I get 15 buzzers, it means emergency stop. And the woman just went, "Oh, that's really good of the company to do that." So, and I looked at her and I'm just like, really?
God.
Yeah, you take care, Hazel. Thank you very much for watching. Johnson Hazel, sorry. Thank you very much for watching. I'm
Okay.
actually going to have to think about disappearing because I am starting work at 5:55 in the morning.
Oh
We've
God.
got. Do you know what? Lovely idea. The company has reps for every rota, and I think stupidly, I've agreed to be a rep for the split rotor. And what it basically means is that I'm surprised people didn't actually, to be honest with you. But I suppose it would have looked bad. Oh, I'm walking off the bus because a disabled person is driving it. You know, how bad would that look? It would have been great if I had a guide dog as well, wouldn't it? Anyway, so I'm split rotor rep. What that basically means is that if anyone's got a problem with their rotor, they go to see the rep about it, and then that rep goes to management and say, right, these are the problems we have with the rotor. Mostly, it's like sometimes you have a duty that has a certain run, and because maybe it hits rush hour, and you might have a 2 minute layover, and the bus is always 10 minutes late, so you then can't run the next route on time. Well, what they've been doing with the split rower is that they've been making it a later and later finish as it goes on. We used to have one duty. It's duty 101, as I call it. Well, it is actually it's duty 101. And it used to finish but you used to get no lunch break. You used to get about like a 1.5 hour lunch break instead of 5. But then you used to go home 2 hours early and you finish about 4 o'clock, which was great. You put up with a short lunch break in order to go home early. Well, what they've now been doing is that now finishes at 6 o'clock. And then the duty that I had today, instead of having a 4 or 5 hour lunch break, I actually get a 1 hour break, then back on the bus, and then a 2 hour break. Well, that's not a split shift. That's a long day because it's a 9 hour duty. So this is all. Can't drive because of bad eyesight. I would ask for a job then. Yeah. To be honest with you, Dave, I think you'd probably still drive better than a lot of the bus drive. There's a company. Well, no, I won't say the name, but there's a rival company. Now, we as bus drivers, we don't have a problem with other bus drivers. It's our companies that are rivals, not the bus drivers. But this company's bus drivers, they are absolutely awful. The number of times I've been forced off the road by another bus driver, and I think that's absolutely disgusting because we're all on the same team here, aren't we? But driving buses. So to be run off the road by another bus driver, it shocks me. It really does. You get it all the time from car drivers, but you know, certain car drivers that drive certain cars are notorious for being idiots. You know, like BMW drivers are notorious for not using indicators. But so
They say that, but I had a BMW and I was a good driver.
did you use your indicators?
Of course.
See,
I I overuse them actually. It's funny because we've just got this on my way into work. We've got this brand new roundabout that's just popped up, but at the moment they're still working on one of the off roads. It's shut, but I still indicate when I come off that roundabout, even though there's no need to because there's only one exit. But it's just habit.
Well, I suppose it's better to use them when you don't need to than to use them when you. But Audi drivers, they're like, yeah, we want to be like BMW drivers, but they kind of drive like out of the way. I have an important meeting to get to. But I have a saying: if you think you've got a pointless job, just remember that it is someone's job to fit indicators to BMWs. See, now I wait for the laughter from chat, and I know it's never going to happen because I can't hear the chat. So, but to be honest with you, I think the worst drivers are the women in their 4x4s whose only driving they ever do is to take little Johnny to school. I just can't see the point. Maybe I'm too old for. Did you walk to school, Horlicks?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So you wouldn't have ever got the bus to school.
No, no, it was like 5 minutes walk.
All right, fair enough then. I mean, I can't work out the distance from my home to my school. Well, before I went to boarding school, anyway. Don't think I'm posh just because I went to boarding school. It was a state boarding school, and it wasn't a special school. It was a normal school. Don't think I was a bad kid or anything. But when I went to main school, it used to take me about an hour to walk to school, and the best present I ever got was a bike for Christmas, and I could buy. And then actually, I was able to cycle home for dinner time. So instead of having school dinners, I used to come home and have sandwiches. But that's what we did. Didn't matter what the weather was. It could be 15 foot of snow, and we would still bike to school. And with no gloves, I don't remember wearing gloves. I remember one day I couldn't get my hands off the handlebars because they'd frozen in that position. And I get kids get on the bus. They pay the money and they go like 4 stops. And I suppose it all contributes towards my wages. But come on, there you go. Dave Milne used to walk 3 miles to high school. See, that was normal when I was a kid. And, now everyone gets the bus to go a couple of stops.
Mm.
So
Oh,
Stuart Sullivan walked to school. Yes, what you did. You walked to school. So you could only get the bus if you were some kind of bank manager on
yeah.
the bus. Like, it's the only people who could afford the buses.
Well, I mean,
But it
I was
was
so I was only like well, now about 5-10 minutes walk, but I used to walk to school and then run home to get the PlayStation on or something.
yeah,
Or you were going out with your friends, you ran home as fast as you could so you could get your bike out and go and meet up with your friends.
that's it. I can remember this one and only time I've ever run home from school is when I was at middle school, and it was the very first day that Channel 4 broadcast, and I ran all the way home to catch the start of Countdown. So that was the very first program ever on Channel 4. And I ran I gotta catch it. And I was one of the ones who watched the very first broadcast on Channel 4. And that was brilliant because we went from 3 channels to 4. Not none of this 400 channels. Sol used to get the Routemaster to school. Did you ever think that one day you would be building the Routemaster talking about getting the bus to school? Just waiting for the comments to come through with count. Do you think Countdown has gone downhill since they got rid of Carol Vorderman?
I don't know. Yeah, I think so. She made it, wasn't it? I think personally, I
Yeah,
think she's the one that.
I mean, obviously they couldn't help Richard Whiteley because obviously he sadly passed away.
Mm.
But Carol Vorderman, I think she was brilliant. That woman they've got now, I just think they're trying to just sex it up a little bit. I just think she's a bit too sexy for show on that time of day. So I
And
don't
there's
know.
a lot
Maybe
of
that's.
spin-offs for Countdown now as well, isn't there? Like
Oh,
8 out of 10
I
cats does
I
Countdown.
do love that show. I think that is absolutely brilliant, and I love the way that Jimmy Carr is always slating the woman in Dictionary Corner.
Yeah, I did. Alan Carr was on it.
Yeah,
Um, they have different people, don't they? But I think
yeah.
Alan Carr was on it last week. I saw, and he cracks me out. I love Alan Carr.
I actually watched. Yeah, she doesn't float your boat. That's fair enough. Yeah, I was watching a concept by Jimmy Carr. I cannot repeat any of his jokes because must be the most offensive person ever. But I think if you go to watch Jimmy Carr, it's funny because that's what mood you're in. But oh god, he's so offensive, isn't he?
Mm.
And his laugh, though, his laugh is absolutely brilliant. I can listen to his laugh all day. It's almost as good as yours, Horlicks.
Yeah, but I bet you haven't recorded Jimmy Carr's.
I could do. I could do. Maybe I should have Jimmy Carr as on my intro for one of my videos, just at the end. Right, guys. I'm going to wrap the show up now because I have to be up early in the morning.
Yeah, and actually, my dinner is just about to be served, so it's
What have you
brilliant
got for
timing.
dinner?
Frey Bentos
I
pie.
Oh, of course, Frey Bentos. Yeah.
I started finger open trying to open the flaming tins.
That's terrible. Just
Ridiculous.
tell them what you told me before the show about the can opener. You rang up Frey Bentos. I
I
couldn't believe
did.
this.
I rang up Frey Bentos saying, right, you please change your tins because the you can't open them. And then they sent me a link to like a 20 quid can opener that apparently is proven to work. But I said to them, like, can you not make it into a ring pull? And they said no, because of the surface area of the tin, it would be too dangerous. Well, do something about your tin. And basically, they're saying they won't because it's from the 80s or whenever they were made. It's how it is. And it's just like, oh, it's so good if you can't get into the flaming tin.
Yeah, there's no problem with our products. It's what you're using to open them with.
Yeah, it's just basically, yeah.
Fred fingers. Kevin, you've just said about building your Arduino and your solder paste. Is there any chance you could bring that up next week and we'll discuss that? Because my solder joints too were awful. But I have Love Minis was Love Minis is the best person you can have if you're trying to learn electronics because she's brilliant and she kind of sort of shouted at me. I think Horlicks, you did as well, didn't you? You were like, "Stop, Penny! You're destroying it." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh!" But after doing like loads and loads and loads of solder joints, I got a little bit better. Um, but soldering, I'm really glad that when I started soldering, I I said I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and I think I'm ready to have a go. I am so glad that I didn't say I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and I think I'll be pretty good. Because I was a lot worse than I thought I was. And I didn't think I was going to be very good, but I wasn't even that good. But it's just a case of just keep doing it. My first solder joints were awful. My After doing about 100 of them, they were acceptable. They weren't professional, but they were quite reasonable. So it's just practice, really. So yeah, just keep plodding away. But we can discuss that in more detail next week. So anybody wants to be on the show, drop myself a message or even Horlicks if you're prepared to take a few messages.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
just to make sure that we're linked up on Facebook. And then what I'll do is I'll fling you the link next week when we're ready to go on the show, and then we can have a little try. Obviously, if it fails pre-show, then it fails, and I'm really sorry. So next week we'll just basically have a chat and banter session.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. The R2's coming along. I've got boxes of parts now. So I've got the first ring there, the second ring there. I don't know if I showed you last week, but I've now got, it was actually totally pointless me building this, but this is part of a ring that's going to go along the top. And you have the Lazy Susan that's going to bolt into the dome, and the second part is going to bolt onto there. And then there's a motor housing, and then that will spin the Lazy Susan. But it's going to be a long way before I do this. So it was actually totally pointless me building this, but it's there ready and waiting for when I want it. This is the motor housing.
But then it's like true to a part work, though, isn't it? Like with the R2D2, you've got your first pack because you wanted the battery tester. You've got
Yeah.
that processor state indicator, which we didn't even put in until God knows what issue.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, same sort of thing.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, I need to put the first ring on, then I need to put the second ring on. I haven't finished printing the second ring. This is a part that I printed today. They look totally pointless on their own, and any individual part I show you is really nothing. It's not till you get the whole lot that it all starts to come together. But then once I've done the second ring, I then need to start on the third ring. And my theory is, because this joint, I can't see what to do with it. And I think that part of the third ring is going to have a little sticky out bit. And then it'll just go, oh, that goes onto there. Screw it in and it's in. But it's all coming. I mean, I've made up to issue 13 on the videos. So obviously what you see on a Wednesday is much more advanced than on the videos that you see. But the next part I need to work on is the panels, because I sanded all of the dome down with the intention of putting the filler on it. And then I realized I'm a little bit premature with the filler. There's other little bits that I need to sort out, and then I can do the whole lot in one go. But that's how the project's going. You have the plan in your head, but it's not till you actually do it that you realize you need to change the plan. So you'll see a lot of videos where I'll say, next week I'm going to do blah, blah, blah. And then you watch the next video and then it'll go, I wasn't able to do that for whatever reason. So instead I'm doing this. But because I'm doing lots of different bits, it means that I'm able to just keep that plan dynamic. So I'm always able to do something, just not necessarily what I intended to do. So, right. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'm glad everyone's really happy. But yeah, I need to go because I need to be up at 5 on the dot. And I've had a couple of days where I've overslept. And if I sleep tomorrow, I am, if I have a 7:30 start and I oversleep and wake up at 6, then that's fine. I can still get ready for work. But I have 55 minutes from waking up, getting ready, walking to work, and starting. So with that, I'm going to finish the show. I'll just let Horlicks say goodbye, and then I will go.
Okay, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, see you next week.
Okay, take care then, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.